while we're on the topic of how serious do we buy into Miles trade rumors, I do think Daryl made, and you hate to give him credit because it always goes to his head.
I am saying yes, and oh yes.
Daryl made a really, really good point about an offensive jump this year. There is some cynicism in here that is one of the things that can annoy me with Daryl. I also think there's a decent point within what Daryl's trying to express here.
I've talked about this all off season, just the misalignment that we have, right? Mm-hmm. You have this really great Super Bowl caliber defense, and then you have an expansion team offense, which I think is an insult to expansion teams. It's that bad. By the time you get that offense where it needs to be, which I think is going to take 2 years. I'm not sold that the franchise quarterback is here. It's certainly not Deshaun. Odds are that question will be answered in 2027, but that rookie probably isn't going to come in and all of a sudden flip the franchise on its head and make them an immediate Super Bowl contender. Again, these things take time for some quarterbacks, and by the time that train gets on the tracks, well, the defense is going to need a lot of work and a lot of rebuilding.
So this is a rare case where I think Daryl is speaking in hypotheticals, the worst's happening here. And I also think he's speaking in a little bit of hyperbole. And I also don't think he's wrong to think this way.
Yeah. Well, I always felt like we had this with the Joe Woods years, where it was like we had one good defensive year, and then it went away, and then it was you could never time it up.
Yeah.
But this wasn't a year in, year out basis. This isn't what I think he's describing right here, which is we're going to continue to have this defensive onslaught, but they're going to be like two ships passing in the night. When the defense takes a step backwards, the offense takes a step forward, and we're just never going to be able to link up.
So I think there's and this isn't. I think we can always fall back on, well, if you're guessing in the negative on the Browns, most years you're going to be right, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what this is with Daryl.
No, because this eventually says you turn around the offense.
But here's the thing. I think Daryl's right in that this was an expansion level bad offense last year. But I think what he's missing, or what I push back on, is I don't think people realize how hard it is to get it so sufficiently wrong. Schematically, they were bleeped from Jump Street last year. Their quarterback room didn't come together until a week before the draft. That's not smart. Not in case anybody knows that there. They did have talent deficiency in the wide receiver room. They had a lot of youth in certainly in the running back room, and then certainly at the quarterback spot, and not first-round talent, third- and fifth-round talent, according to the NFL. And their offensive line wasn't healthy either. The amount that has to go wrong to be that bad in the NFL last year, that non-functional, that's what it was. It was non-functional, is so hard to pull off. It's almost a work of art. That's how that was last year. So the reverse of that is it's not that hard to make this a palatable offense. Like a top 20 quarterback. I'm saying the 20th best quarterback in the NFL. If you just played that guy for 17 games, would give you a chance behind a top 20 offensive line.
So, but this is kind of what Daryl's speaking to, that idea that it's like you're going to watch the offense get progressively better. And with each year, you're going to add, because they got such a focus on the offense, you're going to get better on the offensive side of the ball. But with each year, you're also then probably going to take a step back on the defensive side.
But who's saying they're not going to add people to the defensive room? I mean, I've advocated taking David Bailey with a six-pick.
I mean, it's always open that you can advocate, that you can do something to the defensive side of the ball, but like where they've stressed and where they've stressed to us, and maybe you just don't believe them, they've stressed the offensive side, and they've stressed trying to get better on the offensive side. And so I like the timeline that Daryl's working with, and even for this upcoming year, I think you're going to take a step forward on the offensive side. I also think you're going to take a little bit of a step back defensively. I think losing Schwartz and having a new defensive coordinator is what's going to be the difference in that. Is it a major step in either direction? I don't know. Probably not, though.
So, again, I want to say, I think Daryl, I understand why Daryl's saying what he's saying. And I think he might be closer to right than I am here. But it's just, none of this is that hard. You don't have to choose between you're kind of backing up your defense here, as long as you're drafting well in the middle rounds and late rounds, and also improving your offense. Like, it's a little doomsday scenario for me, and I don't think we're there. If you trade Miles, it certainly changes the calculus. If you just go all offense and none of those guys work out this year, or not enough of those guys work out, the math gets more complicated here. But I think we're going a little hard in the paint for a team that went from 3 wins to 5 wins. And I still think the defense has some legs in it as long as we're not trading Myles Garrett tomorrow.
Well, and again, that's part of this equation too, though, is that Myles is getting older with each passing year, and maybe Myles is the one guy that can be good for 3, 4, 5 years from now. I don't know. I think in my mind, I think Myles is going to be one of these guys like Tom Brady that we're like, wait, hold on, he's still good at that point, a part of his stage, but will he be with the team? Denzel Ward, Denzel's. How many more years of Denzel Ward being awesome do we have? We're worried about his concussions every single week as is, nonetheless counting for years with an S. And so I do think there's some big ticket items defensively that the Browns have to account for.
So here would be another thing, I think, though. And this is this might come off, I don't mean this to come off in a bad way, but sometimes when I say that it does. Most times when I say that it does. How many teams' timelines offensively and defensively line up consistently?
No, isn't that's the game of the NFL?
Yes.
Like, this is the hard threading of the NFL, and being able to really get that down is trying to time everything up where your offense can be as good. Basically what the Seahawks have right now, where the Seahawks have a top 4 offense and defense, and they were able to time up the idea that all those draft picks they got from Russell Wilson all hit on the defensive side of the ball, mixed with the idea that they have one of the best wide receivers now in the game ascending at the same time that they were able to throw in there with Sam Darnold and make everything work offensively.
Well,
you got to get a little lucky.
Kansas City went so hard in the paint in Karlaftis and McDuffie to fix that defense, and they did, by the way.
Remember,
that defense.
the first Super Bowl they had that Mahomes won, they won with one of the worst defenses we've had in the last 20 years to win a Super Bowl.
And so then they fixed that.
And so they tried to fix it,
and then the offense fell apart.
Yeah, exactly right, because there's only, that's what makes the NFL hard, is that if you give, it's like a seesaw. It's a never-ending seesaw, and you're constantly trying to, if you take from one piece, you have to add to another piece, and if you're trying to make it all mix, but ultimately it never really works. See the Bengals. The Bengals have been trying to do for years. It's like they have so many great weapons with Joe Burrow and everyone over on the offensive side of the ball, and they're drowning defensively because there's not enough money, there's not enough resources to fix both sides.
So even if I think Daryl has a lot of valid points, and I just disagree with how far away the offense really is, because I don't think it's that hard to be a respectable offense. To me, I think the hyperbole as if this is a uniquely Cleveland problem, or it spells the sky is falling, that's where I disagree with Daryl. That's where it feels like hyperbole.
I think the main point he's trying to make is that he believes the offense is where they're going to be doing everything and putting all their resources towards, and we're going to watch that drip from one side to the other as we just add to the offense, and then the defense has to take hit after hit after hit, because you can only do so much. You can't fix everything. You can't have both sides really going unless you get some luck involved.
I've dreamed up several ors. These are not either's. These are only ors for JP to choose from. I do think there's a bit of diabolicalness to them. I've also invited Mac and Jake, if they think of diabolical ors, I don't like that, ors for the Browns for JP, they can also submit them. I don't think they can do it, but JP, you ready?
I'm ready. Wait, are you also playing part in this too, or no?
Yeah, so I will let you answer first.
Okay.
And so it's the likelihood of this choice, and then it's which one you like best. Actually, give me the which one you like best, and then the likelihood.
Okay.
Let's hit the music. So we're going to start quarterback. We talked a lot about quarterback.
Yes.
I continue to hear people saying they expect the Browns to draft a quarterback, albeit a late-round quarterback. So I'm going to give you 2 options here for the Browns.
Yep.
Carson Beck in the 5th round, Beck, or Will Levis for a 5th rounder.
Carson Beck in the 5th round. That's the one I like the best. It's also the one I think they would do. I don't see them being in the Will Levis business, so maybe that's exactly why they'd be in the Will Levis business. But I feel like we've had reports attached to them with Carson Beck. I feel like I'm all right with that. Now, I wouldn't do either, but because I have to choose, I'm choosing Carson Beck.
This is diabolical. All right, so...
Yeah, I didn't really start off too diabolical here.
I think Carson Beck is probably more likely because the Monken connection, because the price is right with a 5th-round pick. There's a lot of experience here, too. I don't want to draft a quarterback under any circumstance. I don't. Because the whole idea of a fifth-round quarterback is a developmental quarterback. And if you're already gearing up to take a quarterback in 2027, taking 4 quarterbacks in 3 years, and when the 4th quarterback you take is a first-round quarterback, seems really redundant and stupid way of building teams, even if I generally am on board of draft a quarterback when you can, right? If you like a quarterback, take a quarterback. I also think Levis serves this idea. One, he's got 2 more years, whereas Anthony Richardson has 1 more year. I don't love Will Levis for a 5th. But Will Levis for a 7th rounder?
Is Will Levis just getting some like Malik Willis, I don't know, like tag along, good faith type stuff happening here?
I'm sure.
Is that the idea?
I think it is. Well, it's the inverse because Malik gets the glow up because of the Packers.
No, but
Will Levis gets the basically the Peterlin pass because
the Titans are the commonality between the two, though, right?
Oh, okay,
so it's like you're thinking you are the Packers in this next destination for Will Levis, as if like the same thing that happened to Malik Willis is happening to Will Levis. It was a Titans problem. It was never actually their problem.
I understand that I am making this claim for Will Levis on a very I'm not saying he played well as an NFL quarterback, but he played worlds ahead better than Anthony Richardson, who was unplayable. I know he's got the no risky, no bisky. Todd Monken has history with that kind of guy in Jameis Winston, and I think Will has a powerhouse arm. Bit of a dunderhead, but I would be willing to give him a 2-year kind of let's see what he can do as part of this.
And a Fapello star.
Much better, by the way, than Carson Beck. You ready for the next or?
Yes.
Francis. Okay, Mauignoa.
Yeah, there we go.
Or Ihi Onshore at 24. So Mauignoa at 6 or Ihi Onshore at 24.
I guess Mauignoa at 6 is what I would do and what I also think they would do as well. I don't understand why Mauignoa is just kind of fallen out of favor in the past week or so. Everyone's fallen in love with Fano. Everyone wants to have discussions about Caden Proctor. Mauignoa has been unequivocally the top guy the entire time. Don't make this hard on yourself. If that's who you like as the best tackle, or the best offensive lineman, excuse me, because he's not going to play tackle, then go for it.
I like Mauignoa. I do, because Mauignoa is an ass kicker. So I do like that. I'm really getting seduced. Like, I hate the idea of Max Freeling as Max Freeling. I really hate the idea of Freeling at 6 as a developmental guy. Mm-hmm. Or as, hey, maybe in 3 years he's Colton Miller. Ankor, and I'm going to keep butchering his name, at 24, feels like a guy who's still new to football. He's an athletic freak. I think he is a left tackle. Like, I think he has
thought we decided
traits.
yesterday his last name was Chore. It was Ian Chore.
Ian Chore, yes. That's why I keep butchering it, because we decided it yesterday. But I'm starting to come around to the idea of I really like him as a prospect. I think he might end up having a higher upside than Caleb Lomu, or I honestly don't even know what the figurative upside of Freeling is, but I really think Max has a real chance here. Honestly, neither would upset me. And if you got Mauignoa and what's his name?
Ian Chore.
I think I'd be
Max Ian Chore.
That might be the offensive lineman first round that I think I'd be very excited about.
Yeah, I read a little bit more from Todd McShay on what exactly he liked about Ian Chore and didn't like about him, and some of the combine stuff really kind of stands out. Some of it's 40-yard time, some of the little things that you wouldn't think about, but his weight is in the 70th percentile, and he's
as is mine.
Is that right? Only 70th.
Oh, it just depends on what we're sampling from. I thought it was a fat asses.
One day you'll tell me your actual weight, and I'll look up and see where you are in America.
It depends on that day.
I don't even want to begin to guess.
I wasn't weighed today, or I'd give it to you.
I kind of want to guess, but I don't want to guess. No, I don't want to guess. I reserve. No, I don't want to guess.
You won't upset me. I'm actually in a feeling good about myself.
That's not going to happen. That's just what this one thing is.
Mac,
not
you want to throw it out?
Yeah, Mac. What is your guess?
He's really sizing me up here. This is like a carnival barker thing he's doing.
You've never seen Nick before in person.
Well, no, he hasn't seen today's version.
He's looking at you for the first time.
I could have dropped 3 pounds. You want me to stand up? I'll do a full.
I'll say 360.
Oh, thank you. That's a very sweet. By the way, Mac's very nice for that. That's a very sweet boy.
Oh, that's a sweet guess. Okay, good, because I was thinking 365, but I didn't want to say 365.
Let's go with 365.
All right.
I am very close to 365.
I don't even. Now you just made it more vague for everybody. Now I don't know. A weight at 360 pounds places an individual in the 99th percentile or higher for weight in the U.S., indicating they are heavier than over 99% of adults.
Losers.
That is the 99th percentile for weight in American men starts at approximately 341 pounds.
Enjoy global warming.
So you're not just there. You're there.
out.
You're there by a lot.
Many people have said it.
You are a 1%er.
People have been saying it for a while.
We've been talking that about you for a while. 1%er. I mean, now, have you ever stopped to think about it for a second? Like, it might not be impressive in the way that you want to be impressive.
But I'm still in the 1%.
But you are a 1%er of something in this
true.
life. Like, you are a 1%er of something. Like, there's a lot of people that can eat out there, Nick. We can make an argument. There's a lot of people that can't eat anywhere as good as you.
And I only look 320. All right. The oars continue. Carnell Tate at 6 or Jordan Tyson at 24.
It's incredible.
I think we've lost JP to my
99
fatness.
percentile. How about that? That's incredible. I don't know why. I just
became a better partner for you because my fatness is extraordinary?
I mean, listen, there's a lot of percentiles you could throw out there. Maybe I should have assumed 99 percentile exists for 360. I just thought it'd be like 90th or something. I don't know why.
Give me
more, fat man.
I love that my obesity might have just endeared me more to Jonathan.
It's a very impressive thing in an odd way.
Hey,
the
not
idea
a lot of
that,
guys
like,
230 over there.
You
You're
got
looking
there.
pretty
And
damn
there's
good
a
at
lot
it.
of guys that are that. That's the.
You're in the 55th percentile?
Maybe I'm higher than I thought.
Ooh, would you walk around like a big boy?
Nah.
Feeling like a big boy?
Stop that. All right, what was that?
Tate at 6 or Tyson at 24?
I would do Tyson at 24. I think they would do Tate at 6. And this kind of goes back to the idea of like them playing it safer than them taking any more risks. I think they want to do one combination. I think they want offensive lineman and wide receiver, some variant between 6 and 24. My bet would be you take the double off the wall and Carnell Tate at 6, and then you take whatever's there at 24, whether that's some of the guys we've been discussing, one of the offensive linemen at 24, and everyone's happy.
So Maui Noah at 6 and Iheanchor or Blake Miller at 24 is like my or maybe Iowani as well. Like those are like my.
Oh, Blake Miller's not a name we discuss enough, by the way.
Athletic freak, Cleveland zone, by the way, or Northeast Ohio zone. That's like my dream double O line draft. My dream double wide receiver draft might be Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson. And you obviously can't hope that Tyson's going to be there. It's just kind of, if it happens, it happens. Jordan Tyson at 24 would be insane value. I don't get lost a lot on that, but I do think it'd be insane value.
It'd be insane value. It's the type of value that the Browns would love. And so I don't think they'd take him at 6, but if he's there at 24, I could even see if he's there at like 20 or something, them trading up a couple spots and getting that done.
All right. Monroe Freeling at left tackle or Titus Howard at left tackle?
Oh,
we got a spicy one.
Are we getting Monroe Freeling at 6 or are we getting him at 24?
It does not specify.
Yeah, so all right. So I think they would take Monroe Freeling if it's at 24.
Now it's at 6.
And then I don't think they would do it.
Because you're jamming me up a little bit. You're ruining my bet.
It tells me what direction I'm going. I don't like him at 6. I like him at 24. If he's there at 24, that's what I'm doing. If he's not there, I'm not doing that.
All right, trade down at 6 or trade down at 24?
Trade down at 6 gets you the better haul, I feel like. So I would do trade down at 6, and I would also, I would think they would do trade down at 6.
So there's two things here. You might end up getting an equal haul. I don't know you're going to get a first rounder, although, God, I would love one. But if somebody's coming up to get Ty in that 24th pick, quarterback does drive value on this. You might be able to get a second rounder out of that the same way you might be able to get a second rounder or like a double pick swap like the Dallas thing that's been thrown out there for 6. I actually think this might be a weird year where depending on who is available at 24, it might have a little bit more value than in the same way that, by the way, Atlanta traded up last year to get, it wasn't James Pierce, was it? Oh, that's right. He was their second defensive end. They took the Williams kid first. Yeah. Ooh.
A 6'4" man is taller than 98.9% of the U.S. male population.
Hey, so what I'm hearing is I'm a 1%er and a 2%er? 2%er? I saw it with his father.
It was almost like a Jersey Boys. It was like a Jersey Boys meets Hacksaw, and I don't know what happened.
I get so excited.
You did like a you telling me type thing. You telling me as you do your De Niro face. You telling me?
Telling me? I'm a 1%er? In a 2%er?
So much excitement it brought out your Wahlberg.
Did. or my childhood speech impediment, which is basically a Southie from Boston. Every time I hear a little kid who talks like that, I'm just like, he's little Wahlberg. Hey, little Southie. All right, final one. Casey Concepcion at 24 or Juwan Jennings in free agency. Remember,
I could mess with Concepcion.
people called Juwan Jennings a hoe.
It's not my preferred thing, but I could do Concepcion at 24.
So it's hoe or Hot Wheels here.
I still think Jennings has some value, though. That's the difference. I know, he shoots his mouth off, but like I think Juwan Jennings can still be a good football player.
So I actually think this is pretty equitable. I actually really don't hate the idea of Juwan Jennings in a specific role, Jerry Jeudy in a specific role. If you also think that whoever, man, I got to tell you, if you draft the right wide receiver,
Which one?
Full Belichick there. If you draft the right wide receiver,
Edelman pops out of the clouds.
I saw a transformer.
Julian Edelman,
and
how
keeps
did you
coming back to
get in here?
Boston.
This is that Akil Baddoo commercial. Akil Baddoo's in my car.
I look at my 23 and me, and it says 15% Bostonian. He loves wide receivers. He loves transformers, and he loves to be part of the percent. I'm yay on Juwan Jennings there.
You're 100 Juwan Jennings?
Yay! What'd you think I said?
I don't know. We've been having a pronunciation problem. I wasn't sure.
What a time to announce it. But only for Juwan Jennings. Oh.
Welcome to the party.
Okay, apparently Mac's a part of that party, too.
I'm
Gonna get real crowded real quick, Mac.
I just got so pissed. He went from having a fun time to just straight up.
He
just
blew
pissed.
himself
see
up.
myself out.
Just pissed.
He blew himself up. Oh.